to Business Review, a daily program that delves into the latest and most significant economic stories. From stock markets to currency news, Business Review covers the most up-to-date developments in the global finance.
The Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesman Wang Wenbin said at a regular press briefing that the United States used national security concerns as an excuse to act against China. Wang's remarks came after a U.S. federal judge decided to halt the Trump administration's ban on the popular video sharing app TikTok just a few hours before the controversial ban was set to take effect. Following a telephone call hearing earlier in the day, Judge Carl Nicholas of the U.S. District Court for the District of Columbia temporarily blocked the U.S. government's action, which would prevent new downloads of the app and software updates for existing users. The spokesman said China is always opposing the U.S. generalization of national security concept, abuse of state power, and the bullying practices of oppressing foreign companies for no reason. We urge the U.S. side to earnestly respect the principles of market economy and fair competition, abide by international economic and trade rules, and optimize the business environment. TikTok's Chinese parent company ByteDance previously filed a request for a preliminary injunction against the U.S. government's action. The federal judge's decision means the LA-based tech firm can now operate without interruption at least until a full court hearing takes place. The ban is part of the U.S. government's broader efforts to attack Chinese tech companies amid worsening bilateral relations and fears for American national security.
Amid challenges brought by the COVID-19 pandemic, the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, or ASEAN, has historically emerged as China's top trading partner. It was revealed by Li Chenggang, the Assistant Minister of Commerce, who said at a news conference that economies around the world are grappling with growing downward pressure and shrinking international trade due to the outbreak of COVID-19. Against this backdrop, China and ASEAN have overcome the impact of the epidemic and bucked global trends with good trade and economic cooperation. Data showed that in the first 8 months of this year, China-ASEAN trade volume reached $416.5 billion, up 3.8% year-on-year, accounting for 14.6% on China's total foreign trade. In the first half of this year, China's investment in ASEAN countries amounted to $6.23 billion, growing 53.1% on a yearly basis and taking up 76.7% of China's investment in economies related to the Belt and Road Initiative. ASEAN's paid-in investment in China surged by 5.9% year-on-year. This year marks the 10th anniversary of the establishment of the China-ASEAN Free Trade Area. Thanks to trade and investment liberalization and facilitation in the region, economic and trade cooperation between China and ASEAN has entered a golden period. They are now each other's largest trading partners. The bilateral trade between the two sides increased from $292.8 billion in 2010 to $641.5 billion in 2019. By the end of 2019, the two-way investment reached $223 billion. Li noted China and ASEAN countries had delivered remarkable results in trade and economic cooperation, in which the China-ASEAN Expo has become a significant platform for bilateral trade and economic cooperation, ensured unimpeded access to trade and investment, boosted international cooperation and production capacity, and encouraged Chinese companies to go the Southeast Asia, a major platform to advance trade and investment cooperation between China and the 10-member regional organization. The 17th China-ASEAN Expo will be held from November 27th to 30th in Nanning. capital of South China's Guangxi Zhuang Autonomous Region.
Saudi tourism minister said the kingdom plans to resume tourist visas as soon as early as 2021 after months of suspension due to the pandemic. Tourism is a key pillar of the Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman's ambitious reform strategy to wean the economy of oil. The kingdom, which opened its doors in September to foreign tourists by launching a new visa regime for 49 countries, wants the sector to contribute 10% of gross domestic product by 2030. In late February, the kingdom closed its borders to foreign Umrah pilgrims and to tourists from at least 25 countries. In March, it barred all travel in and out of the country. Minister Khatib said tourism sector had been hit hard, especially aviation and hotels, and expected to see a 35 to 45% decline by the year end. However, the focus on domestic tourism during the summer has partially helped absorb the shock. One of the cities, Abha, which lies 2,200 meters above sea level, attracting thousands of Saudi tourists in July who wanted to escape the scorching summer heat for the cool of the mountains. Visitors spent their days feeding ducks by the lake or visiting the city's parks and coffee shops. The Saudi summer campaign, which promoted 10 tourist destinations across the kingdom, from beaches and forests to mountain peaks and historic areas for citizens and residents to visit in lieu of holidaying abroad, helped boost average occupancy ratio at hotels to 80%. Saudi Arabia reported 332,790 COVID cases and 4,655 deaths so far. Infection rates has seen a steady decline over the past few weeks.
About 3,500 US companies, including Tesla Incorporated, Ford Motor Company, Target Corp, World Green Company, and Home Depot, have sued the Trump administration over the imposition of tariffs on goods made in China. The companies demand a refund of tariffs they have already paid, calling on the US government to change its tariff policies. Some enterprise said in the filing that the Trump administration's unbounded and unlimited trade war with China has impacted billions of dollars of goods that are imported from China by US importers. On September 15th, the World Trade Organization, or WTO, found the additional duties imposed by the United States on certain Chinese products are inconsistent with WTO rules. The tariffs imposed in 2018 marked the beginning of the trade war between the world's two largest economies.
Tens of thousands of Thais flocked to Job Expo hunting work on September the 26th as the government offered more than 1 million positions in an attempt to tackle mounting unemployment. Southeast Asia's second largest economy could shrink by a record 8.5% this year, with its key tourism industry taking a beating due to the pandemic. About 1.24 million jobs will be offered at government agencies, private firms, and overseas. The government will help the private sector pay half in hiring 260,000 new graduates for the year under a co-Mabin scheme. The job offer is part of relief measures as the government has introduced a 1.9 trillion baht or $60 billion package to mitigate the outbreak's impact, particularly on the tourist sector. Although Thailand has so far reported only 3,522 infections and has lifted most restrictions, its tourism-reliant economy has been badly hit, with the absence of foreign visitors since April due to a travel ban.
This has been Business Review, your daily source for the most critical financial stories. Tune in next time for the latest financial news impacting the world economy.